This one's for WWE champions. Pay to win like every day, yeah.
I don't play mobile games.
Funny how they still think I'm a broke man.
Then I'm broke.
Even though I be pulling Hogan's. I spent like 40 grand on a couple thousand pictures of some sweaty men.
So the Elden Ring DLC comes out on the 21st. Okay, so that is 9 days from today. And to access the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, you need to get to the true Mohg boss fight and beat him, right? What's he called? Like the Monarch of Blood or something like that? I don't remember what his actual name is in the game. But you have to defeat him, and he is arguably the second or third hardest boss in the game, right? I mean, there's definitely ways to cheese him, but considering the fact that he has multiple forms, and in one of his forms, he gets like all his health back, and he takes all your health away, he is one of the hardest bosses to fight in the game. So, with the DLC right around the corner, everyone hyped for the DLC and talking about it, it begs the question, out of all the people who purchased Elden Ring and played it, how many people actually killed Mohg and are going to actually have access to this DLC when it comes out in 9 days? Now, excuse me, when Elden Ring first came out, if you remember, basically everyone bought it. It went super mainstream. Everyone talked about it. Everyone said, oh, you can play it. It's accessible. Is Elden Ring accessible? Only if you summon constantly. If you suck at these games and never played them before, and you don't summon Ash summons constantly to basically distract all the enemies, the game's not accessible. It's very hard, okay? And also, you just have no idea where the hell you're supposed to go without a guide. You need to use a guide to basically figure it out, because the game's a giant, confusing maze, essentially, all right? But is it accessible if you summon constantly? Yes, it is. All right. And it's funny because when the game came out, it broke records for sales at the time. And everyone was like, oh, so everyone's enjoying it. I was like, yeah, but you know what would I really like to see? Tell me the actual percentage of people who bought Elden Ring and beat it. Because that's the statistic you want. You don't want, I bought the game and I casually played it for like a few sessions and then I just gave up because it's too hard. You want to know how many people actually went through and completed the game, you know, over time. And some people maybe didn't beat it for a while, and that's okay as long as they eventually got to the end, right? So, there's a statistic for that, but that's not the statistic we're looking at today, all right? What I'm interested in is the statistic for this Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, because you've got a lot of people out there who, again, they're like, wow, Elden Ring, it's in the news again, it's hype, it's mainstream popular again, everyone's excited for it, right? Everyone's excited for that shit, cannot wait to play it. But this DLC has a skill check. You have to have found and defeated the true Mohg boss, and this is one of the harder parts of the game. It's a secret area. You had to have beaten Radahn first to even unlock the way to get to this. Then once you get there, the blood area is one of the hardest in the game, right? It really is. It's tough. You gotta get through this lake of blood with all these fucking albinoric monsters and crazy shit going around. Then you gotta get through that cave with all the blood dudes coming at you and everything. So it's no easy task to even get to the Mohg boss fight. And then you gotta beat it, right? So the question is, how many people have done it? Well, here's the statistics. I have them for you. They're absolutely hilarious. On Steam, PC version, 37.8% of people have actually beaten Mohg. Just over a third. So just think about that. Out of everyone who purchased the game, all the record sales numbers, only a third of them will even be able to play the DLC at launch unless they get their asses in gear, start playing the game right now, and get their butts to Mohg and beat him in the next week. Now, how many people who aren't good at Elden Ring, they gave up on it or just beat the base game, do you really think realistically are going to jump back into the game after not playing it for an extended period of time, master it to get to the secret area, right? Skill check at Radahn, skill check to get through all that shit to get to the Blood Palace, and then are actually going to fight Mohg in the Blood Palace, right? But that's only on PC. On the PlayStation, only 34.7% of people who bought the game have beaten Mohg. So even less. And then to make to just hammer this point home, okay, on Xbox, which arguably probably has the least sales of all three platforms, only 17.7% of people who own Elden Ring on Xbox have actually beaten Moog. Wow. Less than 1/5 of the people who bought the game even bothered with it. So, what I said 2 years ago, all right, a lot of people gave me shit for. But now I'm going to bring it up again in 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, the vast majority of people who bought Elden Ring never played it to completion. They bought it. They casually played it because it was virally popular for a few weeks. They memed about it. Then they found something that was hard and they stopped playing it. No one really who is not a Soulsborne fan bought this game, got immersed in it, absorbed in the world, learned the mechanics, got good, went through the game, dominating it, and beat it. No, they didn't do that. It's a memeable game because everyone bought it, but almost no one beat it. You know, I'm sorry. Or if they did, they didn't learn the game. They didn't master it. They just summoned the whole game. They probably used an online guide that someone wrote, beginner's guide to beating the game, rushed to the Mimic tier, got the Mimic tier, summon, and the Mimic tier just whooped the game's ass while they stood around, right? And even then probably had a hard time. So, the way I see it, I get it, why it was so popular. It's the first FromSoft game to really hit that mainstream. But now that we're seeing the first DLC available, and the fact that FromSoft hasn't changed their ways, they didn't say, oh yeah, you could just do this DLC from the title screen. Like, no, skill check. You got to find an optional boss in one of the hardest hidden areas of the game, and you got to beat him. That's going to shut out a lot of people. So now people are realizing they're going to have to get good in order to actually play the DLC, and they're going to start freaking out. Oh, I want to play it, but man, I don't want to fucking invest that amount of time and shit. You right? That's how it's going to go. I wonder how many people are not paying attention. They're going to buy this DLC, boot the game, and not be able to play it and be like, what the fuck? I just spent $30 and I can't play the DLC. This is bullshit. Actually, isn't it $40? Isn't it like $39.99? So, oh no, see, Dabian says, I doubt any of the people that didn't beat Moog would want the DLC. Wrong. Because again, here's what's going to happen. In another week, it's going to go viral again. Everyone is mainstream going to be talking about Elden Ring again. You're going to see memes again. Everything's going to hit the internet. And all those people are going to want to jump on that bandwagon again. Because that's what they do. These are bandwagoner gamers. They jump on every viral trend. Oh my God, Among Us. Oh my God, Pal World. Oh my God, Helldivers. Oh my God, fucking this one, that one, right? They always jump on it. But that's what they do. They jump on the trend for a few weeks, they play it, and then they fucking drop it and never play it again. So that's how they are. I guarantee you this is what's going to happen is, oh, Shadow of the Erdtree's out. Oh, man, yo, it's hype again. I got to play it again. They buy it $40. They boot it up. What the fuck? Where is it? What's this? What? So they're going to get a swift taste of reality, I feel, as they realize that FromSoft basically is not merely making games for them. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. Folks, that's what I got for today's podcast. We covered a lot. Now I open it up to interaction, Q&A, and the like. I normally would say, okay, it's time for shout-outs. Literally, I have absolutely no contributions so far today.